Salud, mi gente, you boys coming through once again. Before we continue with this video, do not forget to hit the like, subscribe to the channel. For those who show love and support, I do highly appreciate every single one of you guys, man. So on today's video, we're going to talk about the Mexicans from Mexico wanting the Venezolanos, my bad, to go back to their country, man. Hold on, what? You're in Mexico? Oh, hell no, man. You better go back to your country, illegal, right? Now, hold on. Now how it feels, right? All the Mexicans were complaining about our people going to the U.S., getting picked up by the migra, getting put on a facility center or detention center. What facility? On a detention center, getting sent back to Mexico, man. Oh, no. How can you do that? How can you do that, man? That is a hardworking person. How can you do that? But now that the Venezolanos are in Mexico, the Mexicans are complaining. They're telling these people, hey, cross the border, man. You see what happens to you over there. The Venezolanos are like, we ain't trying to cross the border, man. We're trying to stay right here in Mexico. What you gonna do about it? Ooh, boy, people are upset, man. Look, this is what I think. Straight up, man. If somebody comes to this country and wants to work, wants to do everything legit, do it, man. Handle it. Handle it, man. In a table that 5 can eat, you can invite an extra person. Why not? You know, not everybody thinks like that, though. I can assure you, the beauty of this planet is that not every single citizen, resident, or civilian think the same. We all have different mindsets. Let's put it this way. Can the caravana from Venezuela be compared to what's going on in the U.S.? To be honest, no. It's different. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason why these Mexicanos are complaining about the Venezolanos, you know, they have been different caravanas that come through, and they have gave them a little bit of land, little bit of opportunities here and there, you know. We have the Haitians who own a land. They gave land to the Haitians in Tijuana, if I'm not mistaken, right? I've seen Haitians over here working at the gas station in the city of Mexicali. But what is the difference nowadays, right? I don't know how many Venezolanos came. I think the caravana is called something about Venezuela Exodus or something like that, right? It might be. I don't know how many people there is, but they might be like 1,000, 2,000. I don't know. I'm just throwing a number, high number, right? Now the difference is this, man. When immigrants go to the U.S., they go by small groups. Sometimes they go by just families. Sometimes they go by one person. Meet up with the family members over there. They're not creating chaos on the streets. They're not throwing trash on the streets. They're not living on the streets, you know, or they shouldn't be doing. Well, you're going to cross to the U.S. if you're just going to stay on the streets, man. Does not make sense, right? In that case, just stay in Mexico. What's the big difference, right? At the same time, a street is the street, right? You're not going to get no benefit. They're not doing that, man. They're going over there, working, doing their thing. Yeah, there's people who are going to be breaking the law, and I'm pretty sure they're going to get caught and end up getting locked up, you know? That's why they're going to have a criminal record. But you can agree that most people that cross the border is to work, in search of a better life. Not only Mexicans, they come from Central America. They always get on that bestia, on that train that sometimes people fall off. And the bestia sometimes take their hands, their legs, and damn, they're done for life, man. You know? But they cross to make that extra money. Now, we have the Venezolanos who at one point were talking smack about Mexicans, remember? Because they thought that they were protected. They were even calling the migra on the Mexicans. And then eventually they got kicked out. I believe they got kicked out, right? But now we have this caravana going through Mexico, and they want to stay in Mexico, right? But the difference is that it's thousands of people, man. At one point, at one time. marching through cities. Where do you think those people use the restroom? What do you think those people do? That all through the sidewalks, those people use the restroom in public places. They need to use the restroom, man. So imagine all those thousands of people going through your neighborhood. And not only that, staying on the park where you used to take your kids. We're not talking about family. We're talking about a lot of people, man, at the same time. You know? So like, hold on, man. Where are we going to house everybody? You come in big numbers. In big numbers. Right now, I believe the government is trying to do an albergue to house every Venezolano. But the citizens of Mexico, I'm not going to say which state, right? Because I just heard on the news. They're saying, nah, man. How are you going to give these people an albergue? What's going to happen with their neighborhoods? I mean, it's like basically the homeless situation in California. You're just going to have nothing but encampments with people not knowing if there's criminals within those people. Because you don't know. Remember, we had the problem with the tren de agua or something like that. But you had that problem with that, right? So you don't know what's going to happen. These people are not going to a country in where they already got to guarantee a spot, in where they have a family member who's is gonna welcome them. Like when they cross to the U.S., usually they have a family member that's gonna welcome them, or they already have the talks with somebody who's gonna receive them. Simple as that, man. Simple as that. It's a big difference, man. It's a big difference. Whether you like it or not, it's a big difference. Now, the whole thing is that these Venezolanos, they won the residency, right? I believe they're charging them 80,000 pesos, right? Which they don't want to pay. It's too much for them, right? You have Venezolanos who've been working on the construction site in Mexico, and they say it's too much work, man. These people are working 12 hours a day just to make 200 and something pesos a day just to make a hole. That's why they have machines, man. That's why they got máquinas. They can make the holes. Why we have to make the holes? They're complaining about the job. But I don't think everybody's like that. Let's just be honest about this. I'm not going to give you a bad look on this. You know, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Venezolans who are looking for a better life, for a better place, man. But coming in thousands at one time is not the it's not the right way to go about it. It's not the right way to go about it. I do understand that their country is going through a lot of stuff. And I do hope that, and I do think that Mexico is gonna take them in. Guarantee, man. I believe Mexico is gonna take them in, right? Because there's already a track record of Mexicans taking people in. I don't know if they've been, if anybody been deported. I mean, they can be deported, but I believe that the government wants to do an albergue. The last video I seen, it was them and TJ. And TJ, they don't want them. And TJ, you already know how TJ is. TJ is overcrowded. When I got deported, they had, what was that, Venezolanos? Or from Guatemala. They were right there at the line. There was a gang of people, man. It was in 2021. It was like one of those times when the caravanas, I believe maybe it was the second caravana. And everybody was staying right there. And I was like, what the hell was going on right here? Nothing but puras tiendas de campañas on the streets, man. And I'm like, oh shit. And you see people just walking around. And it was weird, man. I thought I was going to get robbed. I just got out the pinta. And I thought I was going to get robbed, man. I was like, oh, hell no. I need to get out of here, man. You know? It's a lot of people giving you the eye. You feel uncomfortable. You even walk with your chest out, man. Like trying to show like what's up, man? You want some of this or what? But nah, man. It sucks, man. It sucks to be in a situation like that, honestly. And me as a Mexican, you know, as a Mexican, I can say that if they can't stay in their country and they're gonna come and provide help with the job, with the economy, man, more than welcome, man. More than welcome. Straight up, man. Straight up, man. So hopefully, again, nobody thinks the same. Everybody got their own mentality. Same people like there is in the US, with everybody got their own mentality about immigration, whether they should do this, they shouldn't do this, that everybody's a criminal, that only certain people are criminals, that these people are on the wrong, these people are on the right. That's how it is in Mexico. That's gonna be how it's gonna be in Venezuela. That's how it's gonna be in Guatemala. That's how it's gonna be in France and all over the spot. Not everybody thinks the same, you know. But how I think is like, man, hopefully I do understand that frustration. Imagine 1,000 people going through your neighborhood and they wanted to have to use the restroom. They're gonna go and shit in front of your house. Come on, man. People, I'll be mad for sure. I'll be mad. I'll be like, hold on. And what are you gonna do? There's a bunch of shits in front of your house and stuff like that. What are you gonna do? All right, motherfucker. Who was the one who took a shit in front of my house? There's like 100 shits right there, man. You know. So I do understand that. That's what people are complaining on. That these people are just using the restroom. They were not ready. They were not ready, man. And that's what happened. Last time that supposedly a caravana was gonna come through, Mexicali got ready. Mexicali got ready right here. They got all kinds of different casitas with medical, but nobody came through, man. So with this being said, we are out to next video. Hopefully you like this video. Saludos a todos. Hasta luego.